The world held its breath, a collective pause as humanity stood on the precipice of an uncertain future. The year was 1945, a time when the world was embroiled in the final throes of the most devastating conflict in human history. The atom bomb had revealed a terrifying new reality, one where a single device could obliterate entire cities in an instant. Humanity now held the power to unleash unimaginable destruction, a power that could reshape the world order and redefine the nature of warfare. But what if this power went even further? What if the destructive potential of nuclear technology was pushed to its absolute limits? What if a weapon existed, not to win a war, but to end everything? A weapon so powerful that its mere existence could deter any form of aggression. This was the chilling ambition of Project Sundal, a top-secret initiative born out of the darkest fears of the Cold War era. Project Sundal stands as a stark reminder of a world teetering on the brink, a world where the line between deterrence and destruction was perilously thin. It whispers a dark possibility, a testament to the destructive potential that lies dormant within our technological grasp, waiting to be unleashed. This was not a weapon of war, but a weapon to end all wars, a weapon to end everything. It was the ultimate deterrent, a doomsday device that could bring about the end of civilization as we know it. The goal was simple yet terrifyingly ambitious: to create a nuclear weapon of unimaginable power, a doomsday device capable of obliterating entire civilizations in a single, cataclysmic event. It was a concept born in the paranoia of the Cold War, a time when the world held its breath, bracing for the possibility of nuclear annihilation. The fear of mutual destruction loomed large, casting a shadow over every political decision and military strategy. Project Sundal was a nightmare made real, a glimpse into the abyss of our own destructive potential. It was a project that forced humanity to confront the terrifying consequences of its technological advancements. It serves as a stark reminder of the delicate balance we tread in the atomic age, a balance between progress and annihilation, between knowledge and the end of everything we know. The legacy of Project Sundal is a haunting testament to the perils of unchecked technological power and the ever-present threat of our own self-destruction. The world was still reeling from the horrors of World War II. The images of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, forever seared into our collective memory, served as a chilling reminder of the destructive power unleashed by the atom. But instead of shying away from this abyss, the world's superpowers, fueled by fear and mistrust, charged headfirst into the atomic age. The Soviet Union, having successfully tested its own atomic bomb in 1949, shattered the United States' monopoly on nuclear weapons. This event sent shockwaves through the corridors of power in Washington, igniting a frantic arms race that would define the next 4 decades. The Cold War was a time of paranoia, of suspicion and distrust. The world was divided into 2 camps, each armed with weapons capable of unimaginable destruction, each locked in a deadly game of brinksmanship. It was in this climate of fear and uncertainty that Project Sundal was conceived, a monstrous idea born from a world teetering on the brink. The stakes had never been higher. The world watched with bated breath as the 2 superpowers engaged in a high-stakes game of chess, each move carrying the potential to escalate into a full-blown nuclear exchange. The fate of humanity hung precariously in the balance. At the heart of this terrifying endeavor was Edward Teller, a brilliant physicist often referred to as the father of the hydrogen bomb. Teller's journey into the world of nuclear physics began long before the Cold War, during a time when the very idea of splitting the atom was still in its infancy. His early work laid the groundwork for what would become one of the most powerful and destructive forces known to humanity. A complex and controversial figure, Teller was a staunch advocate for the development of ever more powerful nuclear weapons. His speeches and writings often reflected a deep-seated belief in the necessity of these weapons for national security. He argued passionately that the United States needed to stay ahead in the arms race, not just to deter enemies, but to maintain a position of global dominance. He believed that only through strength, through the possession of the ultimate weapon, could the United States ensure its security in a world increasingly defined by the threat of nuclear annihilation. The Cold War era was marked by a pervasive fear of nuclear conflict, and Teller's vision was to create a deterrent so formidable that it would prevent any adversary from even considering an attack. Teller's unwavering belief in the necessity of nuclear superiority put him at odds with many of his colleagues, some of whom viewed his relentless pursuit of more destructive weapons with growing unease. These scientists feared that the escalation of nuclear arms would lead to an inevitable catastrophe, a point of no return where mutual destruction was the only outcome. They argued that such weapons served no strategic purpose, that their use would be nothing short of catastrophic. Anti-nuclear protests began to gain momentum, with people from all walks of life voicing their concerns about the potential for global annihilation. The haunting images of mushroom clouds and desolate landscapes became symbols of the devastating power that Teller and his colleagues had unleashed. But Teller remained undeterred, driven by a conviction that bordered on obsession. He was a man possessed by the idea that the ultimate weapon was not just a tool of war, but a necessary instrument of peace. His intense focus and determination often left him isolated, as he grappled with the moral and ethical implications of his work. He saw Project Sundal as the ultimate deterrent, a weapon so terrifying that no nation would dare challenge the might of the United States. The project was shrouded in secrecy, with only a select few aware of its true potential. Teller envisioned a world where the mere existence of such a weapon would be enough to maintain peace and stability. He believed that the only way to prevent nuclear war was to make the consequences of such a war so unthinkable, so utterly devastating, that no rational leader would ever contemplate it. This doctrine of mutually assured destruction became a cornerstone of Cold War strategy, a grim reminder of the fragile balance that held the world in check. Teller's vision was a chilling one, a world held hostage by the threat of its own annihilation. The constant fear of nuclear war permeated everyday life, from school drills to bomb shelters, as society grappled with the reality of living under the shadow of the bomb. Propaganda and media played a significant role in shaping public perception, often amplifying the sense of impending doom. His legacy is a complex one, a mixture of brilliance and hubris, of foresight and recklessness. In his later years, Teller continued to be a polarizing figure, receiving accolades and criticism in equal measure. His contributions to science and national security were undeniable, yet the ethical questions surrounding his work remained a topic of intense debate. He was a man who stared into the abyss, and in doing so, he forever changed the world. The impact of his work continues to be felt today, as nations grapple with the legacy of nuclear weapons and the ongoing quest for peace in a world still haunted by the specter of Armageddon. The development of the hydrogen bomb or super bomb in the early 1950s marked a turning point in the arms race. This was a period of intense scientific and military competition between the United States and the Soviet Union, each striving to outdo the other in terms of technological prowess and destructive capability. Far more powerful than the atomic bombs that had devastated Hiroshima and Nagasaki, the hydrogen bomb utilized the power of nuclear fusion to unleash unimaginable destructive force. Unlike the atomic bomb, which relied on nuclear fission, the hydrogen bomb's fusion process released energy by fusing atomic nuclei together, resulting in an explosion of unprecedented magnitude. The first hydrogen bomb test, conducted by the United States in 1952, vaporized an entire island in the Pacific Ocean, leaving behind a crater miles wide. This test, known as Ivy Mike, was a stark demonstration of the bomb's devastating power and a clear message to the world about the new level of destruction that had been achieved. The test sent shockwaves across the globe, both literally and figuratively. Nations around the world were forced to confront the reality of this new weapon, and the geopolitical landscape was forever altered. The hydrogen bomb was not just a weapon, it was a symbol of ultimate power and a harbinger of potential annihilation. It announced the arrival of a new era, one in which humanity possessed the power to not only destroy cities, but to obliterate entire nations. The sheer scale of the hydrogen bomb's destructive capability was almost beyond comprehension, and it fundamentally changed the nature of international relations and military strategy. The sheer scale of the destruction unleashed by the hydrogen bomb was difficult to comprehend, even for those who had conceived of it. Scientists and military officials alike were awed and horrified by the power they had unleashed. The hydrogen bomb was a testament to human ingenuity, but also a stark reminder of our capacity for self-destruction. The hydrogen bomb was a game-changer, shifting the balance of power and ushering in an era of unprecedented danger. The Cold War became even more tense, as both superpowers now had the capability to cause unparalleled destruction. This led to an arms race, with each side developing more and more powerful weapons in a bid to maintain or gain the upper hand. It was a testament to human ingenuity, but also a stark reminder of our capacity for self-destruction. The hydrogen bomb represented the pinnacle of scientific achievement, yet it also highlighted the darker side of human innovation, the ability to create tools of mass destruction. The world watched in horror as the specter of nuclear war loomed larger than ever before. Civil defense drills became commonplace, and the fear of nuclear annihilation permeated everyday life. Protests against nuclear weapons grew, as people around the globe called for an end to the arms race and the threat of mutual destruction. The successful test of the hydrogen bomb paved the way for even more powerful weapons that defied imagination. The arms race continued unabated, with each new development pushing the boundaries of destructive capability further and further. Project Sundal, conceived in the wake of this terrifying new reality, represented the pinnacle of this destructive ambition, a weapon that would dwarf even the hydrogen bomb in its sheer destructive power. This project was a chilling reminder of the lengths to which humanity would go in its quest for dominance and the ever-present threat of total annihilation. So, here's where things get really interesting. Picture this, a massive intricate machine, almost like something out of a sci-fi movie. It's not just a piece of technology, it's a marvel of engineering. Now imagine the sheer amount of effort, creativity, and well, let's be honest, a bit of madness that went into making it. This is where the magic happens, folks. Buckle up, because we're diving deep into the heart of innovation. In a world where technology evolves at an unprecedented pace, the boundaries of what we consider possible are constantly being pushed. It's not just about what we can do today, but about imagining the unimaginable for tomorrow. The future holds promises that seem straight out of science fiction, yet they are within our grasp. Throughout history, there have always been voices that rise in dissent, even when facing the most dire of consequences. These voices remind us that humanity's spirit is unyielding, even in the face of annihilation. They challenge the status quo, urging us to rethink and reimagine our path forward. The past has a way of speaking to us, offering warnings that we would be wise to heed. History is replete with lessons learned the hard way, and those who ignore these lessons do so at their peril. By looking back, we can gain valuable insights that help us navigate the complexities of the present and future. Today, we find ourselves in a world still in the balance, teetering between incredible potential and significant risk. The choices we make now will shape the trajectory of our future. It's a delicate dance requiring wisdom, innovation, and a deep understanding of the interconnectedness of our global community.